that flooding through the Midwest. Now, spots like Iowa, Kansas, into the Minnesotas and Illinois very heavily hit over the last couple of days, and that is going to continue into tomorrow and the beginning of the week. In fact, these storms with very heavy hail, gusty winds, and even possible tornadoes are going to push in an eastward direction, so hitting parts of the South, the Mid-Atlantic area, and especially for tomorrow, the Great Lakes region. So we're talking about spots like Chicago, Cleveland, and also Syracuse, New York. We have a broad trough of low pressure bringing our temperatures down, giving us that onshore flow. That's why we are seeing that morning and nighttime fog, and that's actually going to continue through the week ahead. What's happening with this high pressure? Clockwise rotation is causing compression. With compression, you get a drying out of the atmosphere, so we're certainly seeing that in our area. But we have some monsoonal moisture to the east and to the south. That's going to get dragged up. That, along with a coastal eddy on Monday night and into Tuesday, could actually bring us some precipitation a little bit later in the week. A coastal eddy, by the way, is when the winds are blowing in a parallel motion to the coastline, but over the land instead of over the water. This creates a twisting action and a very unsettled atmosphere. A lot of folks have been asking me about this, so I wanted to show you this morning. You may have seen, unfortunately, live, in person yourself, a fire NATO this week, or maybe you just saw it on the news, but I want to explain to you how this happens. Basically, you get crosswinds, just like you do with a normal tornado. You get these crosswinds, they create a vortex, and with that you get a swirling, but this time in the case of fire. Keep in mind, in the center of a fire NATO, it can be up to 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So extraordinarily dangerous, and we saw some of these in our county, as you're seeing right here, earlier this week. All right, let's take a look at our improving conditions, our humidity levels right now.
Go over to Brooke, who has a signal caller with her.
Definitely a recognizable face on ESPN. Troy Aikman is here joining me. Troy, you were here last year at the Derby and now here again. Tell me, what is it about horse racing that intrigues you so much?
Well, it's more my 14-year-old daughter. She's a real horse enthusiast. We brought her last year, and we really had a great time. And we were fortunate enough to get invited back and be a part of the party last night. We had a wonderful time at it, and we're looking forward to the rest of the day here.
Now, you're no stranger to big sporting events. Tell me, how does the hoopla and fanfare of this compare to something like that of a Super Bowl?
Oh, I think it's it's right up there. I mean, certainly it was different for me being a part of it and playing in those games, but this is fabulous. I mean, last year we'd heard so much about it and the excitement and the enthusiasm for the race, and to come here and for the build up to the 10th race being the Derby race, it's just a lot of fun.
Now, if you have a big win, is it going to go to your Troy Aikman Foundation?
Absolutely. Yes. That's how did you know that?
I'm a big fan.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. We'll donate it to charity. Hopefully there's something to donate.
All right, well, that gives us good reason to root here for Troy, having good luck here at the Derby. Back to you, Reese.
In other parts of the country, though, they're still looking at this winter blast all the way from the Dakotas into the Minnesota area, extending all the way through the Ohio Valley into the Great Lakes region, extending into New York, the tri-state area, and then up into New England. So some areas will get about 1 to 3 inches of snowfall starting tomorrow night, continuing into Sunday, and then other areas like the Great Lakes area should get between 5 and 8 inches. For New England, expecting just some light snow, colder temperatures as well, as those temperatures start to come down in the next 24 hours or so.
Are you a horse person?
I had a bad experience on a horse. You did? Did you get thrown off?
Something you want to talk about?
Let's just leave it at that. No. You know what? I'm Romanian, and so I went to Romania to see where my family was from, and I rode one of those Lipizan horses.
Oh, the big horses.
Yeah, and those are the dancing horses, and apparently my great-grandfather used to train them. So I got on one, and the guy just let the reins go, and the thing got up on its hind legs and started dancing. I'm grabbing around the neck, hanging off the side of the horse, and I don't really have much interest.
Story.
No more interest in riding.
I didn't see that coming.
You had no idea when you asked that question.
Ask about horses. Next thing you know, she's riding a Lipizan or stallion.
Who knew she was playing out of left field?
Oh, yeah. Chargers versus Chiefs. Guys, what do you say?
Go Chargers!
Yeah. Troy, who's going to win the game today?
Chargers.
All right, Chargers all the way. Hey, guys, I got myself a football here. We know I'm pretty accident prone. We're going to see if I can actually throw it to my friend John here. Courtney, remember what happened at Petco last time?
I do, Brooke. I do very much.
We're going to see if I can do this without hitting a barbecue.
The key is spiral, Brooke.
I
Spiral.
have a pretty tight spiral, I think.
Okay,
Ready?
let's see it. Let's see it.
Here we go. Not so far, John. Ready?
Hey,
Not bad. Yeah.
So
All
let
An incredible story. Why did it take 7 years for the correct diagnosis?
The problem with Lyme disease is that there is no universal treatment or standard of care yet for this disease. In fact, there's not even a valid test. The blood test for Lyme disease is inaccurate 60% of the time. So for 7.5 years, I had a negative blood test.
You say that actually during that process, a lot of times doctors suggested to you it was all in your head?
Yeah, and that's not unusual in the Lyme community. There are hundreds of thousands of people with this disease. Thousands of them email me, and they've, my story is horrifying, but they've had it upwards of 15, 20, 25 years, and they're told that it's all in their heads and they're crazy. And we're talking about some of the, most major medical facilities in this country saying
Hi, good morning, guys. That's right. Nothing touches closer to home for me than this one. We are at the 7th annual Lyme Disease Awareness Walk here in San Diego at Vacation Isle East. 18 years ago, I woke up unable to move, completely paralyzed from the waist down, and that began an 18-year and counting battle to fight for just the energy just to get through a day.
Let's take a look at our traffic this morning. A little bit slow go coming out of the South Bay. On the 805 in the northbound direction, we've had a lot of slowing here this morning between Plaza Boulevard and the 8 interchange. A little bit better than about 15 minutes ago. This is a multi-vehicle crash on the 94 westbound at 25th Street. 3 vehicles involved in this crash, so very slow go on that 94 into downtown. You'll probably want to take the 8 as an alternate westbound to the 163 south or the 5 south.
Just watch this. Watch him. Just see what he's going to do. See, here he comes. You see, you got to watch out. It's the Hunter's Lodge. This is what happens.
Oh my God.
Poor Brooke.
Is it slime?
I hope that was water. Was it?
No, it's guts.
It's what?
Guts.
It's guts?
Guts.
It's guts.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I'm getting out of here. Hey guys, I feel like I'm in a hurricane. That's right. That's right. And I'm not letting go of my pizza. No way. No way. All right, folks. Let's see if I can hold a pizza, do the scrambler, and give you your forecast.
Summer's just around the corner. Why not get some sizzling deals on hot spots for the whole family? This savvy world traveler is just the person to help. Welcome, Rudy Maxa. Good morning.
Good morning, Brooke. How are you?
I'm doing well. All right, so tell us what some of your best tips are on getting that affordable travel. All right, our next guest is a major league player on and off the field. San Diego Padres' new second baseman, Orlando Hudson, and his lovely wife, Kisa, are teaming up to help autistic children with their charity Catch. Good morning.
Good morning.
So you were both involved individually before coming together with autism. Tell me why. Family members who have autism? All right, for more information, go to san-diego6.com and click on San Diego Living. Up next, despite the rain, summer's on the way, and it's a good time to update your outdoor living space, but there are some common construction mistakes you'll want to avoid. Good morning, and thank you for waking up with us. I'm Brooke Landau. Susana Franco has the morning off, which means I'm over here, over there, over there,
you're
over
everywhere
there.
today, Brooke.
Remember the Las Vegas cabbie? This is a story. Remember he found $300,000 in the back of a cab and returned it? Well, he's being rewarded for his honesty. In an update to a story we brought you yesterday, Gerardo Gamboa has been rewarded for returning the cash he found to its rightful owner, a Las Vegas poker player. That poker player thanked Gamboa by giving him $10,000 in cash. The cabbie says he appreciates the reward, but he was just doing what his parents taught him as a child.
$10,000 is nice.
Out of 300, though, he could have gotten a little more.
Right, but the nice part about that is he doesn't have to, it's tax-free.
I still would have negotiated.
Which is nice. You would have negotiated?
Yeah, you know me.
Yeah, you would have.
We're talking about choices, and Adrienne, you are a medical social worker.
Yes.
Sometimes these choices that we have to make on an insurance form, especially when we're talking about Medi-Cal and Medicare, they're not as obvious as we would like them to be, and you could miss something in making that choice. Tell us what it is that you do to help people with that. We only have a minute left, and I definitely want to ask this question. Sometimes there's a myth out there where we think, well, anything over 30 isn't going to help me anyway, or if I put something like a 50 on my baby or on a child, it's not. So how high should you go?
So that's a really good question.
Please welcome Dr. David Evans. Good morning, Dr. Evans. All right, this is a really important thing because we're talking about, what is the statistics? 1 in 6 men will develop prostate cancer?
1 in 6.
Good morning and welcome back. All right, a great day to do some exercise today. And you know, with the kids back to school, busy moms and dads, stay-at-home moms and dads, they only have a very short window of time, maybe a couple of hours or so before it's time to start picking up the kids from school again and activities, driving here, driving there. So here to talk with us today is Eric Nelson, fitness director at Body by Discipline. A beating heart, something most of us can count on every day. But that's not the case for baby Jennifer and her mother.
I want her to be a healthy baby and to be happy and knowing that she's going to be here.
A simple wish every parent can understand. But Raquel Foy faces a challenge most of us will never face. Her 6-month-old baby needs a new heart.
You can't imagine what's going on in my head.
Jennifer Pimentel seemed like a healthy baby at first, but everything changed a few months later when she developed trouble breathing. Her mother took her to the pediatrician.
I kept taking her in, and they just said, oh, it's just a cough. So I was upset because they just sent me back home again, and I took her back again.
Ultimately, a trip to Rady Children's Hospital gave Raquel the answers she needed but didn't want to hear. Pediatric transplant cardiologist Dr. Rakesh Singh explains the terrifying reality.
The only way that she can live a long, healthy life is if she undergoes a heart transplantation.
Jennifer was diagnosed with dilated cardiomyopathy, which means she has a severe heart muscle weakness and enlarged heart. Currently, UCLA is the nearest hospital equipped to do pediatric heart transplants, so Raquel had to make an agonizing decision. Relocate to Los Angeles and wait for a heart there, or wait for the technology to arrive here in San Diego.
Mad and frustrated. I didn't know what to do.
It's very expensive for these families, especially families that don't make a lot of money. It's very difficult emotionally for them to be separate from their families and other children.
In order to make these surgeries possible in San Diego, Rady Children's Hospital did a nationwide search for a top-notch medical team.
The reason I came to Rady Children's Hospital was to help start their new heart transplant program.
With that, and a newly dedicated cardiovascular ICU, San Diego will soon be on the map for these groundbreaking procedures.
We expect that once we're up and running, we could be doing as many as 10 heart transplanted children a year, and thus really sort of increasing the visibility of the hospital and providing a great service for the community.
In the meantime, Raquel and healthy 5-year-old daughter Janelli wait and hope. They're living at the Ronald McDonald House, a luxury they wouldn't have at UCLA. Here they receive 3 meals a day, a place to stay, and even schooling for Janelli, while Jennifer waits for a heart.
Jennifer's doing very well, but what we know about this disease is that it gets worse over time until they unfortunately pass away.
Clock is ticking, while her heart does too.
I usually cry because it's hard just to think about what I'm going through. Yeah, it's a hard process.
Rady Children's Hospital is trying to make this process easier. Coming up, we're going to take a look at the facility where these surgeries will take place and talk with the doctor who will do the very first pediatric transplant surgery in San Diego. Jennifer just might be first.
I want them to understand, my friends to understand, and family members, what I'm really going through. And it's really hard to explain it over and over.
Raquel Foy is talking about her 6-month-old daughter, a seemingly healthy child until just a few months ago.
Out of a cough, you realize she has something worse than that.
Much worse. In fact, a life-threatening condition.
She was 3 months when we found out that she had an enlarged heart here at Rady's.
Baby Jennifer needs a new heart, Until recently, the only option available was UCLA. But Rady Children's Hospital plans to change that with the addition of a world-class transplant surgeon and facility.
Before I came to Rady, the program was already well established in terms of performing complex open heart surgical repairs for patients with all forms of heart defects, with the single exception of heart transplantation. And so my goal was to sort of add to that expertise.
And for children like Jennifer, this is quite literally a chance at life.
Jennifer is in severe heart failure. See it or feel the pounding and pulsations of her chest wall.
But Jennifer, like other children, must wait for a surgery she so desperately needs right now.
We need additional equipment. Specifically, we need artificial heart pumps. In addition, we needed infrastructure in the hospital, including a cardiovascular intensive care unit.
Fortunately, these needs have been met through donations from very generous San Diegans.
Our patients will undergo the heart transplant procedure in this room.
A room where Jennifer's life could be saved.
This is Jennifer's chest x-ray here. And so, what we see is the outline of the heart. And what's really dramatic for us when we look at this is that our heart size is really much larger than normal.
For Jennifer to have a fighting chance, she'll need a donation of another kind.
It's a difficult situation. It's a very odd situation where, in order to have a successful outcome for Jennifer, we have to rely upon an incredible tragedy in someone else's family.
Raquel tells me this breaks her heart too, but she'll be grateful for the precious gift.
It is very helpful for whoever donates, and respectful and very kind. And if you guys can donate, then it's wonderful. The best thing anybody can do.
Meanwhile, the team is ready to do something never done before in San Diego.
I'm very proud to represent the hospital, and I'm really looking forward to doing our first operation. And I think everyone's going to be very, very excited, and I can hardly wait.
Dr. Devaney tells me the sad reality is that a large percentage of these children won't survive the time it takes to find a suitable donor. But for many, it could mean a healthy, long life. This is a very exciting time for San Diego. Dr. Devaney says they should be ready for the first surgery this summer. If you would like to learn more about organ donation, you can go to donatelifecalifornia.org. Brooke Landau, San Diego 6 News.